Okay, the second leg of our question had to do with, how data could just,
yes. What's the potential of technology in terms of,
that's part of what I just explained earlier on. Now, technology will play a big role with energy theft. The percentage of energy theft, like I told you, the HEC and C losses, energy theft is also part of it. And that's why you're having as high. I said collection alone, payment collection alone is 30%. And you still have the remaining 18%, okay, which, what's it called? Energy theft forms part of.
I even wanted to take you up on that payment collection loss of 30%, which you earlier mentioned,
okay.
Because it could also seem, you could clarify that it's also a lapse on the part of the federal government. Is that how you see it, this payment collection loss? Because it's the...
See, let me explain.
Right.
Let me explain.
Even though you mentioned earlier on that there are some people, there are some categories of Nigerians who are cutting corners. So could that also be an explanation for this payment collection loss of 30%?
See, it goes back to Olamide's question. Like I said, if we deploy technology, okay, to solve the issue, the challenge of payment collection loss, okay, we would also be addressing that of energy theft with technology.
Okay.
There is a way we will do this deployment this time, which, sincerely, I've given those details before, but I will not. I've decided to keep those details to myself now. Yes, as trade secret. So if we're granted that opportunity, we will do all these, and I tell you, energy theft will stop. Now, let me tell you why the real issue here, which is the electricity value chain imbalance itself. Now, we have an installed capacity of, I'm not too sure now, because it's changing with new generation plants coming on stream, okay? It's still, I think it's varying between 16 gigawatts and 20 gigawatts right now. That is installed capacity. Funny enough, we're struggling. We have an installed capacity of between 60 and 20. We're struggling to generate about 5 gigawatts daily to deliver to transmission. At some point in time, the transmission capacity cannot will what generation stations are delivering to transmission. It was maybe about 3.5, or later became 4.5. Now they say it is 8 gigawatts. Of course, I know it will have improved a lot now with this Siemens project. The Siemens project is actually targeted at the transmission arm, which is, I want to believe, is going on very well. Because we're beginning to see some changes, right. But not very remarkable, because, like I said earlier on, the underserved part, they are still suffering. And there are some that are not even served at all. They are still in that problem. Let me finish that part. Now, even distribution itself does not have enough capacity to take what is coming from transmission. So that is that imbalance. If I'm saying I have an installed capacity of 16 or 20 gigawatts, I meant, right. Okay? Okay, let's even assume I generate 16 gigawatts. The transmission value chain should be able to take that 16 gigawatts conveniently. Now, distribution as well, because it will go from transmission to distribution. Distribution as well should be able to accommodate that 16 gigawatts generated. So that the entire thing, though there will be some losses, but the losses should not be as this remarkable.
We're talking about capacity now,
yes.
lacking.
Yes.
All right. So with all the things you've mentioned, it will seem as though we are not really there yet. We are not able to really manage the situation.
We're still far, but the administration is trying.
Even with the level of privatization that we have. We agree that the administration
If you talk privatization, it's messed up, but go on.
I understand. So what I'm trying to say is perhaps we should be exploring international partnerships, having international companies invest in our electricity sector. Where has that not been explored?
Now, I'll tell you, so far, Nigeria's electric power sector is not investment attractive. If you watch today, what do we have? We have a lot of entrepreneurs going into the import of fuel generators. But unfortunately, our eyes are now opened to the electric power sector that with Electricity Act 2023, sorry, there are enormous opportunities, enormous potentials in this sector for investment. Now, why this? It is still the problem of these losses. Because, look, I come to invest in a business, and at the end of the day, I'm unable to collect, to collect payment for services rendered effectively. How would I want to come? A loss of 30% is too enormous for any business to contain. So the electric power sector, even as we speak, even with the electricity tariff increase, is still not attractive. It has to be cleaned up. The payment collection issues, because what we're saying, the payment collection issues is giving the operators liquidity challenges. When you need to spend your money, you have to wait for the government to reimburse you on subsidy. So how would I be comfortable running that kind of business?
Right. And are we not even seeing, some of these distribution companies? Is that also what we are seeing in some of these distribution companies where AMCON has come in?
Let me tell you the problem with the discos. Of course, there is no way I will be able to do the complete review without questions. Now, the issue with the discos is this. When we're talking about electric power, like I said, there are a lot of things we say. This is not rocket science, but I tell you, the electric power sector is about rocket. It's about rocket science. It's science. It's technology. It's very technical, and is not a business to be toyed with that you try to solve political, quadratic, and simultaneous equations with. The unfortunate part was the distribution arm of the sector. The country played. We decided to settle political equations, by applying the almighty formula to arrive at some sharing solutions that messed us up. I remember the Minister of Power succinctly mentioned that the people that handled the last privatization did not understand is that the discos, they are the last leg, the last value chain. Let me use the appropriate word, the last value chain of the electric power sector. But unfortunately, it's been messed up. And once that part is messed up, the entire sector has failed. That's what it means. Now, we played politics with this part. Now, the distribution network is completely obsolete and, how do I put it? Grossly, the infrastructure itself is grossly inadequate. Again, it was sold to people without the technical know-how. They really don't know what to do. They turned the discos into cash cow just to make money. They did not know that they need to upgrade, the infrastructures, and also, not just upgrading, and also expand, which is what the present administration has also gone into. I am shocked. The discos have been sold out, and the federal government just entered into, through the Ministry of Power, just entered into some contract of about 118.2 US million dollars, okay, to refurbish, our distribution infrastructures, which the owners of the discos that bought the discos were actually meant to do. The discos have been sold off, but now it's still the federal government taking up responsibility, God bless you, taking up that burden, okay, to upgrade and expand the facilities so that we'll enjoy power. But like I say, even after that, with the transmission, the transmission expansion and upgrade as well, because then to now, if they only, upgrade and expand transmission and leave distribution, we'll still be having serious issues. Okay, so with what the government has done now, that will also help a great deal, but there's still a long way to go. A long way. The underserved and the unserved will still not be captured. So we still have a long way to go.